You with Curtdog. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm am. I'm am. I'm am. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm am. I'm am. I'm am. I'm am. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm am. Welcome. I'm am. Welcome. I'm am. Welcome. I'm am. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm am. Welcome. I'm am. Welcome. I'm am. Welcome. I'm am. I'm am. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm am. Welcome. I'm am. Welcome. I'm am. Welcome. I'm am. Welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On It. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On It. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On it. I'm welcome to speak. Welcome to speak. I'm 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 welcome to speak. Who you with, Curtdog? Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Curtdog. I'm him. Who you with, Curtdog? Happy Wednesday to everyone. Hopefully y'all having a great day today. Man, it's been a beautiful day in the neighborhood. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this day. Woke up kind of nippy this morning. But we are here. We're still in the house and doing what we have to do. Want to remind everybody, don't forget, it is early election going on right now. So definitely, wherever you're located, if you're registered to vote, get out and vote. Allow your voice to be heard. We heard from 3 different candidates here in Texas this week, Kurt Johnson and also Junior Izuno, who is running for city council in Grand Prairie, Texas. Then we also heard from the firecracker, Marissa Ward, out of Longview, Texas, who is running for city council also. And between the 3 of them, they ready for a change in their cities. So definitely support them if you are in Grand Prairie or in Longview. And if you are in Grand Prairie, regardless of what district you are in, but if it's Dallas County, Tarrant County, or Ellis County, I believe, you're able to vote for the place 8. So definitely get out and vote. Let your voice be heard. So show your support for these future leaders to be able to make a difference in your city. So tonight we're going to talk about a couple of things tonight. Not going to be long, but we're definitely going to be strong. You can live chat with us in the chat room. Want to welcome everyone on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. D Live is always in the house, so you can definitely tune in then and chat live with us in the chat room. Let us know how you feel. We're going to do a couple of things tonight. Lieutenant William Kelly. Yeah, y'all may not know who that is, but you will know in just a minute. Then also, will Texas finally get casinos in Texas? And what would that mean for Oklahoma and Louisiana? Going to be very interesting. So I said for years, Texas should have casinos to keep all that income going to these other states right here at home. So we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to do Ask Curtdog anything. No matter what, you can ask me, and I will answer truthfully. And for the ones that don't know, when you ask those questions, be prepared for the answer because I'm very honest and upfront. So let's talk about this Lieutenant William Kelly, which is crazy. And he was a Virginia police officer who donated to Kyle Rittenhouse support. GoFundMe, whatever support he have going on, whatever scam Kyle Rittenhouse have going on, allegedly scam. But oh, excuse me, he donated to Kyle Rittenhouse funds, and that just kind of uh, I don't know about you, but it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. For the simple fact that with Cal Rittenhouse, who was accused of murdering uh, two people and injuring one, um, and he's set up for trial. I believe it's in. I could be wrong, but I believe it's November. Um, Radio mentioned this last night on the show that had been police officer donating to him, and then it came out today that this officer was fired for it. But that just kind of tell you the type of people that we have to deal with. You have policemen, you have judges, you have attorneys, you have elected officials. Just because they're not allegedly in their white sheets doesn't mean they don't have that Klansman mentality. So yeah, it is a difference. And because of that, when you have police officer doing things like this, supporting somebody and that he swore to protect and serve. So what about if it's protests going on in Norfolk and he's there to protect them? Would he actually protect them if it's not of his liking? And because he donated to Cal Rittenhouse Fund, he justified Cal Rittenhouse uh, shooting those people. Now, I know some people are going to say, well, it was his right. Yeah, it was his right. Should he have lost his job? I don't know what their policy is, but it sent a message out. You're standing up for what is wrong instead of doing what is right. That's the message that he sent. And because of that, yeah, I feel like if he's in one of those situations, dealing with a BLM protester, he probably would file some phony charges and make up some things. And unfortunately, possibly can even do some other harm to a person. Radio Chaos, welcome to the show. Glad you could make it. I appreciate the conversation last night. But yeah, so this officer, he was fired. He gave $25 to Cal Rittenhouse, and he said he did nothing wrong. Okay, well, I guess you'll have to fight to try to get your job back or whatever, but it just sent the wrong message as a police officer. Yeah, it probably was, you're right, but who knew that you gave money to it? You must have been going back bragging about it, talking about it. So somehow, some way, they found out that you did it, and unfortunately, cost you your job. So personally, I don't know why you would donate to someone who murdered people. You saying that you're okay with it, uh, and I agree with you, Radio. It's not a good idea. It's definitely not, and that's the wrong message he sent. I say all the time, yeah, a lot of Klansmen don't walk around with they suits on, they white sheets on no more. But now they put down their sheets and picked up a badge or pick up a law book, picked up politician, um, or picked up a robe, a judge robe, and we having to deal with this. Um, so the whole thing is it was a bad call for him, and it cost him his job. And my thing is, oh well, hopefully he learned from it. And for him to be a lieutenant, he had been with the force for a pretty good while. To be a lieutenant, not unless they just passing him out. Um, da, 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 da. So they uh, so they voted him out, and they agreed to relieve him of his duty. So, but he will learn. He's gonna learn today. But yeah. So that's interesting. And speaking of um, a police shooting, in the last 2 days there've been two. Now I know some people gonna not agree with me. Um, And I've had this discussion with different people. The one that happened yesterday with the 16-year-old girl. Unfortunately, um, because of what was going on, that officer did swear to protect and serve. Um, she did. She was going after someone with a knife, and he had to stop her. I'm not saying it's right, but I do understand. Um, I hope, I don't feel it. I hope that if that officer would have had the opportunity, if someone's life wasn't in danger, I feel he probably would not have shot. But then again, we don't know. But um, until I see more evidence, um, I just have to wait and see. But from the videos I seen, she was going after someone that fell on the ground with a knife, and he did what he should have done to prevent from her taking a life. Whatever the situation was. What's going on, Marcella Smith? What's going on? So I that's just my personal opinion, but I'm not 100% sold on it. But like I say, I'm a say what I feel that is right. And from what I've seen so far, that's what it looked like. He was trying to prevent her from taking a life, even though the young lady is the one that called the police. She called from the first couple of reports I read, she was the one that called the police. But here it is when the police get there and she's chasing somebody with a knife and the person fall on the ground, it really don't leave you too much time to make a split decision like that. So not unless something else come out, if he been there for several minutes and something like that, that's completely different. But from what I've seen, it's it's not, I hate to say it, but from what I've seen, it looked like a justified shooting. Um, they released the body cam pretty quickly, and um, then this one is still up on the investigation in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. The police were trying to serve a warrant, and it's supposed to be body cam um, footage, but they haven't released it yet. The FBI is reporting that. But a brother lost his life this morning. They was trying to serve a warrant. Apparently, his car was backed into the driveway, and he went to drive off. And as he drove off, the police, one witness said they shot in the front of the car. Then they turned around and shot in the back of the car, and he ended up crashing into a tree and passing away there. But it's up under investigation. I seen the news conference. The sheriff is not saying a whole bunch. The district attorney and the SBI is not saying too much either, because they are there investigating it, and they will take a look at the footage, the body cam footage, and find out exactly what happened, what went wrong, and go from there. So I don't know. When it initially came out, it said it was a 14-year-old and a unarmed black man that was killed, but that came out to not be true. That's why you have to do your research when you see things on social media, because it came out it wasn't true. It was only one incident where the brother was shot. They was trying to serve a warrant, and something happened where he ended up getting shot. So praying for both of these families, because it's not easy dealing with stuff like this. But hopefully the truth will come out, whatever way it goes. The truth need to come out. If it was wrongdoing, they need to be held accountable for their action. I don't care who it is; they need to be held accountable. Um, so I did ask the question: how would you feel, or will casinos finally come to Texas? If so, how do you feel about it? How do you feel about it? Now, I know we have um, Winstar, which is just north of Texas, right across the state line, and it's ranked as the largest casino. And then we have Streetport, the old Little Vegas. Um, but now Las Vegas Sand have launched an ad campaign in the four biggest markets in Texas. One has been Dallas. I seen the commercial this morning. Houston, San Antonio, and Austin. Now, here's the key to it. That's why it's very important to get out and vote, because it's going to be on the ballot come November. We will be able to vote on if we want to bring casinos to Texas, um, resort casinos. Now, what they're going to look like, I don't know, but they're definitely pushing a move to it. It's been taught for at least the last 15 years that I'm aware of. They always been talking about it, but they are looking at bringing casinos to Texas, and I think it will be a good thing. Right now, the only casino that we have in Texas is down in Eagle Pass, down on the border. Um, so it's going to be interesting. Um, but we will be able to vote on this come November. It will be on the ballot. Hopefully, some other things will be on the ballots too. Um, Legalizing marijuana. I'm just saying. I would prefer they make it legal um, instead of taking the chance of going out buying it from somebody you don't know. So it's definitely something to think about. Um, Now I don't know what type of resorts they talking about doing, but the Sands back house and Senate proposal have picked up some support since they were filed in early March. The House legislation has since attracted three joint authors. Um, Tanya Rose, Democrat for Dallas, Sam Hurlis, Republican of Houston, and also Green. And so it's going to be interesting. And what is going to happen to the other states that a lot of people have traveled to many times um, to go to Windstar or to Streetport. What would actually happen with that? Because that will be a big factor in it. And trying to glance through this. So so it sounds like a lot of people is on board with it, and it's going to be very interesting when it comes down to it. So hopefully we can get it passed. I wonder where would they put it. I know it's been years of talking about putting it like in the downtown area of Dallas. Then Houston, I don't know where they would put it. Austin, San Antonio. I think it could be a big benefits and the amount of jobs it will bring to the community. So um, we're definitely keep paying attention to this, but it's going to be interesting. I will be now. Of course, the only way it will work is if people get out and vote, either vote for it or vote against it. It doesn't matter as long as you vote one way or another. Because if you don't vote and you want it, if it don't go through, you should have voted. If you do vote and you don't want it and it still go through, you should have voted. So either way, vote for what you feel that is best for you. But if it can bring jobs and build our economy, I'm all for it. It sounds like a good deal to me. And I think it probably would hurt some of these casinos um, because from what I know from friends telling me that lives in the Louisiana area, Louisiana don't get as much business as they used to. So that probably would shut them down. I don't know. But then you have Windstar, the largest casino in the world. How would that affect it? So it will be interesting. Depends on what type of games they have and everything else. So, but that's that's a couple of stories I wanted to hit on tonight. Um, know it's been a while since I did ask Curtdog anything. So if you are new tuning in, that's the this is the time where you can ask me any question you want to know, no matter what. You can ask and I will answer. Um, so if it's too personal, I'm gonna tell you nah, that's too personal. But other than that, I'm very open and I will answer whatever you have. So and that's just the way we do it. You can ask anything, I will answer. Hopefully, it's nothing too personal because I don't share 'em. I get personal on here, but I'm not going to share anything too personal. So, but you can ask anything, and I will give you an answer. Benefit of the doubt. Um, if you are a new listener, please let us know for we can shout you out because I know we've been having a lot of new listeners coming on. A lot of people come on, they don't ask any questions, they just kind of sit back and kind of see how things are. But this is a platform for everyone. And I know if you seen the replays last night or um, last night or anything like that, um, I don't. Normally, I try to make it known that it's a replay, but I do get calls sometimes during when those shows are replaying. I'm asleep. I don't answer. Radio want to know would Trump make a good truck driver? Hell no. Nah. He would not make a good truck driver for the simple fact he probably would run people over if he feel they're going too slow. So nah, he wouldn't. I, I don't even think he would be able to drive a car good, to be honest with you. Um, Welcome back, Mick Debates. What's on the show tonight is we talked about Lieutenant William Kelly getting fired in Norfolk, Virginia for donating to Cal Rittenhouse um, for donating to Cal Rittenhouse support fund. Um, then we also talked about would Texas get a casino, finally get casinos here. So there's ads going on in Texas that we possibly could get casinos here. And I think it would be a good thing because people travel so far to go to the casino in other states. And you can do it here, keep the money in the community. As long as they doing what's right, paying people a fair rate wage, and they need to take the wage up from $7.25 an hour and pay people a fair wage here in Texas, because I think we have one of the lowest minimum wage amount. Um, so that's how that is. But and right now we actually don't ask Curtdog anything. No matter what you want to ask, you can ask. I will answer. So you more than welcome to ask questions. Now Mike said um, he would make a good president. That's your opinion, Mike. That's why we're in the predicament that we're in now. Um, and that's why we're in this predicament now, because he did not take the pandemic serious when he first found out about it. He refused to wear a mask. Then when he decided to wear a mask, he said, "Oh, he felt like he looked good in it." And then when he got COVID, he decided to do a parade around DC waving at his supporters instead of following the doctor's order. And then he wanted rush and get everything open. But that's your opinion. Like I said, on the show, everybody have different opinion. Everybody is welcome here. And I know you've been kicking it for a while, so I'm okay with that. That's your opinion. He may have been good for you. And if so, what was the best thing that you actually got out of Trump being president? If you don't mind me asking, because maybe it's something I missed. If it was something that he did great that benefited you and your home, your family, let me know. What did he do that was outstanding for you? So definitely let me know. Um, he said low taxes. Every president to come in said they're gonna lower taxes, raise taxes. That goes on with everybody. And now I will tell you this to go back to what radio asked, would Trump make a good truck driver? No, he wouldn't. And I'm gonna explain the reason why I feel this. Because when you talk about lowering taxes, the reason why there's a shortage in truck drivers is not just about the pandemic. A lot of their benefits been cut. And what I mean about the benefits, they're per diems. Because truck drivers, while they're away from home, they will be able to claim a certain amount of money from being away from home on their taxes. Well, unfortunately, Trump came in and changed that. So it hurt a lot of truck drivers. And that was something that truck drivers depend on. You gone from home 2, 3 weeks, and some drivers be gone 6 months at a time, or 3 or 4 months at a time. Then they come back home because at the end of the year they could claim all that time they've been away from their family. But when Trump changed that, they unable to claim it now. So I feel like that's part of the problem besides the pandemic. But it's hopefully it'll start picking back up. But you say he was good for you for low taxes. That's great for you, but it's not great for other people. We're talking about majority of people. Yeah, it may have been great for you, but how many others have it been great for? So, and then he said Cal Rittenhouse was attacked and shot back, fully justified. Watch the video, but nobody shot at him. Nobody shot at him. They was unarmed. And let the truth be told, if Cal Rittenhouse would have been home for the curfew, it never would have happened. Here it is, she sent a kid up there with a assault rifle, and he goes and killed two people and injured one. So it never should happen. It never should have happened. But that's what some people say. It was self-defense. No, it wasn't. When the police praised him for being there, if they was really doing their job, they would have did their job and made him leave. Make it known it's past curfew. Then on top of that, they wouldn't have gave him no water. If that was anybody else, they would not have done that. So, um, but we'll wait until his trial. We'll wait until his trial and see. Um, and then we'll go from there. Um, Mick said personal beliefs should never be used against an employee unless it interfere with the job. I don't know their policy. Um, I don't know the policy of it, of that particular police department. But to support a person uh, that is charged with a murder and in your position as a police officer, I feel he sent the wrong message. The wrong message was sent out. It's saying that you justified that. And because of that, his department voted to relieve him of his duty. Like I said earlier, I don't know what their policy is, but they do send the wrong message. And on this particular situation, you have to use common sense. You know you represent everybody in that community. And even though you're in Virginia, you took an oath to represent everybody in that community, not just someone like Cal Rittenhouse. Kind of like what I said before about the judge here in Dallas that came off the bench to hug Amber Geiger. Would you have done that for any other convicted criminal? Would you have done that? I don't think she would have. So the thing is, you in a position, you have to be smarter not to put yourself in that position. And once you put yourself in that position, you have to accept the consequences because they voted on relieving him, and everyone voted to relieve him of his duty. Now, like I said earlier, he's gonna have to fight to get his job back if he want it back. Um, but hopefully he learned the lesson. He learned the lesson about it. Michael said he had almost bashed in with a skateboard. So why would a underage child be walking around with an assault weapon in a whole nother state from where he lived? And then he wasn't even old enough to buy it himself. He used his stimulus money to get it. Then turned around, you in a whole nother state talking about you doing security. Even if you was had the gun legally, you still wasn't old enough to do security. So with that being said, he never should have been there. He never should have been there. I don't know about the dumpster fire, but I know about the spray painting. That's what he's supposedly been there for, to remove spray paint or whatever. Um, Trump failed to take action to secure election process, both foreign and local. He ignored state jurisdiction change in legislation. He failed to protect freedom of speech. That's your opinion. Because the thing is, I feel that Trump won that 2016 election. He won it by help. That's my opinion. Now, your opinion may be a little bit different, but my opinion, um, he even said himself, he believed Russia did tamper with the election. So, and now he's saying that um, the election was rigged. So now I don't think it was rigged. He just lost fair and square in November. That's all it was. Two other people, Cal shot had guns. I cannot verify that because I don't think they did. If they did, I don't see them running up on him. But it's been a while since I looked at the story, but I don't recall reading that part of it where two of them had guns. Um, Radio said there was reports Cal was brandishing his rifle at protesters early in the night. Yes. And then also a video surfaced of Cal Rittenhouse attacking a young lady at a school. Two young ladies had got into it, and he came up behind one of them and sucker punched the woman. So that's going to be interesting. And matter of fact, one of the guys that was videotaping the whole thing when Cal Rittenhouse came up and sucker punched the woman, he jumped in to defend that lady that was attacked, that young lady that was attacked. So yeah. Charged is not guilty. Politicians are supporting many who have been charged, including those charged with rape, allegedly. Um, when it come down to people, as for those charges, he is not guilty until proven. He's not guilty until proven guilty. So until he go to trial, we don't know what's going to happen. But I felt like they should have revoked his bond after he refused to give the court his real address. He moved and did not notify the court. So now, as for people supporting other people charged with rape and all of that, that's all allegedly. That's your opinion. And he was part of a group that was protecting business. Once again, how can you have a child to protect your business? If that business owner hired a child to protect the business, he should be charged along with him. You don't get a child to do a grown person uh, job. That's just not right. The judge showed very low ethics. There was a long gun from a friend that lived in the state. He is old enough for that style of gun. He was there as a mech. What the heck? He he's not certified. So, but once again, he said he came there to clean the graffiti off the walls. That's what he came for. As for the long gun, yeah, normally a shotgun, but not a assault rifle. Not an assault rifle. You cannot buy an assault rifle underage. His friend purchased that gun for him. And when he purchased that gun, he ended up, it came out because the friend was charged for purchasing that gun for him. But then it came out that Kyle Rittenhouse took the gun without his knowledge and went to a different state. So, as for it was a long gun from a friend that lived in the state, the friend didn't give it to him. He did purchase it for him with Kyle Rittenhouse money, allegedly, but he didn't give it to him. He took it without his knowledge from what I have read about. So, but we will see when it go to trial. And when you go to trial, we'll see from there. What's going on, Fresh Veggie? Salute, Curtdog. Just getting off, tuning in. I appreciate you for always tuning in and being a part of the show whenever you can come in. You can be a part of the show, and we can tonight we talked about a couple of stories. And for the ones just tuning in, let me let you know you are listening to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. You can always live chat with us. And Marilyn, I'm so sorry. I've been answering questions. I didn't look down at my phone, but I see that you are on Facebook, Marilyn Milligan Schaefer. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Starting to see your name pop up quite a bit. You can also live chat with us in the chat room. If you'd like, you could go over to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog, and I could display your message on the chat, just like I did with Fresh Veggie and everyone else that put messages in. So thank you for tuning in, supporting the show. But you can also live chat. I'll look down and see it, and I will read it online. Radio Chaos said a protester said to Cal, "Oh, now you're a medic? A couple of hours ago, you pointed your rifle at me. It's on video." I haven't seen that video, but radio normally be on point. So I'm a roll with radio because he normally stay on top of all of this. So I really feel that even in the bar scene, I think it was on video too, where he said he was a medic and he was questioned if he was certified or something like that. But either way, a teenage medic, okay, that's great. PA judge changed the law without legislation. That's not an opinion. Foreign country have always interfered. Trump just thought they were going to help him. Allegedly, a lot of these governors are changing laws. That's why they're doing the voter suppression. That's why they make it harder for people to get out and vote, especially times like this. Right now, we're in the middle of an early election, and I want to say in all states, but I'm not quite sure. I know here in Texas and several other states, city councils have been voted on. So we should be packing the polls right now to make sure our voice are being heard. Unfortunately, a lot of these people get reelected time after time, and they don't really care about you. They don't go out and campaign no more. Matter of fact, Kurt Johnson brought up that the person that he's running against actually said he don't have time to be city council, but he won't step down out of that position. So because he won't step down, and because he's been there for so long, people is accustomed to seeing him in those positions. And what he should do, if he's not going to serve the people, the guy should sit and step down. That's with any elected officials. If you're not willing or don't have the time to serve the people that voted you in, don't sit there and just take our tax dollars for nothing. Get out of that position. Put somebody in there that's going to fight for the people of that community. That's why I do support Kurt Johnson, Junior Ezino, um, Marissa Ward. Uh, Unfortunately, I can't vote for them, but I will make it known that from what they stand for, yes, they have my support. And hopefully somebody that are in those cities can also support them, because with them, they're doing trying to make a change. Because here it is, the city of Grand Prairie don't have any blacks on the city council at all. They used to have one on the school board, but other than that, it's nobody representing the black community. Now, I'm not saying they get in these positions and just focus on the black people, but they all have said they're going to be for the people of that community. They don't care if you're black, white, Hispanic, Chinese, whatever. They're going to support that entire community. They represent that entire community and not just one particular race, unlike our governor, piece of a governor that we have. um, we already know he's only going to support one particular community. That's why when he come up for re-election this year, we need to vote him out. He got to go. Look how he changed his executive order last year. Changed this executive order to benefit one person. And then Dan Patrick um, paid for the bail of little Becky, and then Ken Paxton wrote an executive order to stop foreclosure, but he made it seem like it was for everyone, but it wasn't. It was to help his homeboy out, which he also had two pending charges up above his head that he still haven't gone to trial yet. He had one that happened 5 years ago for fraud. He never should have been reelected. And then he keep changing the venue where they're going to have the court at, keep changing that. And then here they have been 5 years later. Last year, the FBI started investigating him for abusing his power. So he need to go too. And then he filed all these lawsuits last November to try to overturn the election. That's saying that your vote don't count. That's what he's saying. And all those attorney generals in all these 17 states that supported him in doing this, you need to find out if your representative was one of those 17 states and vote them out also, because they're saying your vote don't count. Regardless of how you voted, they saying it didn't count. It don't matter how you voted. They just wanted what they wanted. Um, said it's not illegal if it is charged, it's illegal if it is yet to. I guess you're talking about Cal Rittenhouse. Well, Cal, I feel like this. Of course, he's innocent until proven guilty. He's innocent until proven guilty. Now, how that gonna look, I don't know. I don't know. But from what I've seen, from what I know about it, He never should have been there. Never should have been there. But he went, thought he was Billy Badass. Now look at it. And it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. And for one of the fathers whose son was killed, the first hearing that he said he was um he wished he could have got a host to him. And that's all I'm gonna say. But it's a terrible thing. He made some wrong choices and he needed to be held accountable for it. He never should have been there. He should have been at home reading a book, doing homework, or whatever. He never should have been there. And then he was allowed to go home. Now, if that was a black man walking down the street with that assault rifle, do you really think the police would have been telling him, hey, I'm glad you're here. I appreciate y'all. Here's some water. Oh, don't worry about the curfew, because it was past the curfew. And then after he shot him, he raising his hand and they just wave at him and pass by. Do you think if that was a black man, they would have done the same thing? Hell no. First of all, it wouldn't even got that far. Once they seen he had an assault rifle, it was over with. Matter of fact, I talked about a case, and then I'm gonna come back to this. I talked about the incident that happened in Elizabeth City, North Carolina today. Well, the thing is, in that city, in this video I seen, it was a brother out there, had his gun on his side. I believe someone in the video said it's open carry, or he was licensed to carry. He was licensed to carry. And because he was there, you see a police officer talking to him, and he left. They asked what was going on. They said, I need to go take my gun home. It's on his side. Now, I don't know where the guy came from, but still, it's all the answers are not out there yet. But here it is, where he's licensed to carry, and they forcing him to go take his gun home. So yeah, assault rifle is a long rifle. If anyone failed, here Cal parents who supported a 17-year-old to be there. Yeah, and Cal had to been smarter, but somebody should have gave him enough sense to say, you know what, you're not doing that. You're my child. You're not going up there. Now, an assault rifle, yes, it's a long rifle, but at the same time, whenever we have these mass shooting, first thing they do, they look at where did the gun come from, because a lot of these mass shooting is done with an assault rifle. So with that being said, he could not purchase that gun, not that type of long rifle. They're not going to sell that to a child. A shotgun, your parent can purchase a shotgun, and they normally allow you to do it, or just a 22 rifle. But an assault rifle that spit out many bullets at one time, no, they would not sell that to a child. So no, I don't agree with that. He is not a medic. He is trained as a first responder medical aid, just like I am through work. Okay. But when you say you are a medic, a licensed medic, yeah, he probably knows CPR. He probably um, know how to stop bleeding. But 9 times out of 10, if you're the one that caused the bleeding, you're not necessarily going to try to stop them from bleeding. Um, Radio said he was an EMT. The journalist asked him if he was a certified EMT, and Cal said yes, he was. EMTs are state certified. Again, his own video. Its own video. So that's what Radio said. And I know Radio do his research. Uh, Matter of fact, that's how Radio actually started following me when I was talking about Cal Rittenhouse. So that's how he started following me, talking about that story. So yeah, um, that's that's he probably did say it on video. He definitely He definitely was not an EMT. He took a class for ROTC or something like that. Yeah, but still, once again, he never should have been there. He should have been at home. And maybe he should have been studying to be a medic. I don't know. But he wouldn't be in this predicament if he was at home. So I know someone said earlier, um, I'm trying to see, make you mention something about if anyone failed Cal's parent who supported a 17-year-old to be there. Now, are they bad parents? Their parenting skills need to be put to test because that's the case. They failed at it, completely failed. I completely agreed that both Cal should not have been there. And if he had been a black man in the same situation, he would not be alive. Because now you see exactly what I'm saying, because it's a difference between black laws and white laws. It completely is. A lot of people don't want to recognize it, but it is. It's definitely a difference in it. None of us were smarter at 17. Um, I made some great decisions because at 17, I was more about working, playing football, um, doing what I needed to do. But I've never been about BS. I didn't believe in doing stuff just because majority of people did it. That wasn't me. I always had goals to do things to make my situation better. And some people don't think about that until they get older. I've always thought about what can I do next to better my situation. So that's just me personally. Even today, I still think about stuff like that. Um, Majority of mass shooting are done with a handgun. No, some of them are, some of them are not. But when you go up into Walmarts, like in El Paso, um, what was that compound that just celebrated 22 years yesterday, I believe, of that shooting. Um, then you have those probably was handguns, but they had a lot of ammunition with them. But then you had the several other mass shooting, school shooting, mall shooting. A lot of them are assault rifles. For the simple fact, even the guy that drove from North Texas to El Paso and did that mall shooting, that was an assault rifle. And then after that, they took him in custody peacefully after shooting all these folks. Even in Colorado last month when the shooting happened, that was assault rifle. So either way, just because you have access to gun doesn't mean you're smart enough to use a gun. Uh, you don't have the intelligence to do the right thing. You can carry a gun, but that don't make you invisible for the consequences if you use that gun the wrong way. So, um, radio said, unfortunately, age doesn't define intelligence. See, I don't read um, comments ahead because sometimes I get distracted doing that. Look at the idiot who went into Pelosi and incriminated himself by dragging about the letter, bragging about the letter he stole. He's 60. Yep, he's 60 years old. Yeah, he's definitely not the brightest in the book. And I need to see if they still have him in Washington in jail. Cause that's the guy that was from Arkansas, and he was complaining that they won't let him out of jail. Well, you did a terrorist attack on America. You shouldn't be out of jail. Unfortunately, you should not be released. Anybody who took part in it should be in jail. You shouldn't be able to go on trips. You shouldn't be able to go home to your family. You should be in jail, just like they will put any other terrorist. So yeah, um, that's where they should be. Um, Mick said, I think people are judging Cal Action as an adult. He is a kid, 17 years old, who are short-sighted and believe they are invisible. I expect the 17-year-old to make bad decisions and to lie. But you should have enough sense not to go out and do stuff like this. You should never do stuff like this. And not only that, I mentioned it last night. I'm going to mention it again tonight. Growing up, um, we could go to our aunts, our home, grandparents' home. It was always a rifle, a shotgun, or a pistol somewhere in the home. But we knew and never was told, but we knew better. We knew we better not touch it. And the problem is because the way that um, society is today, we see bang bang shoot 'em up in the movies, videos, and the records, and all of this. But we knew if we seen the items, we better not touch it. Back in the 70s, they used to hang pistols up on the walls as a picture, loaded pistol. But we was never told you better not touch it. We knew better. We knew if we got even looked like we wanted to touch it, we was gonna get our butt tore up. They weren't gonna move it. They weren't gonna say nothing. But if we knew our parents that if we even thought about doing it, that was gonna be a butt whooping. So now what's happening, unfortunately, because of the way that society is today, kids look at that and feel that's the reality of it. Kids cannot um, understand what's real and what's not real. When you see some of these artists that is on the TV, bling bling, and um, guns here, guns there, and then you turn around And several years later, you hear they homeless, um, they living on the street, they broke, on drugs, whatever it may be. It's just not good. But that's the way that a lot of the record executives feel that they need to sell music, um, by glorifying stuff like that. But it's also killing our people. And when I say our people, I mean everybody, because that's when we get the gun violence in all race. That's when we get the mass shooting in all race, but some more than others. And that's where the problems come in at. We need to change that. Until we change that, we're always going to have this issue. Um, uh, Radio questioned the wisdom of anyone who would take a firearm to a riot with no training or experiences for a game. And not only that, I seen something today, and I don't know if this dude is up for re-election or not, but the president of the Dallas Police Union, I cannot think of his name right now, but normally he support anything that is against reality. But I've mentioned this on the show that Texas is trying to make it where anyone can carry a gun. Anybody can purchase a gun. That is over 18, I believe, can purchase a gun, pass a background test. I think that's one of the dumbest things they can do right now. For the simple fact, you won't, with all the violence that is going on in this world, you want to make it easy for people to purchase guns. Now here's the key. Some people may feel like that's a good idea, but who is it a good idea for? It's not a good idea for black folks because the thing is, it's hard for us to walk down the street without getting shot by the police. So now, if we have a gun that we can legally carry, what you think gonna happen then? So when I talk about the president of the Dallas uh, police union, he said, no, this is not a good idea. It's going to put all of us at risk. And as long as I've been knowing this guy, that's the first thing I ever agreed with what he said. And then he said something else about it. And I was like, man, he's two for two today. And I said, he must be up for re-election. He's trying to win some votes for the police union. I don't know. Or maybe he had a rude awakening and said, you know what, this is just not right. And I feel it's not right. No, that law should not pass. That would take us back to the wild, wild west. It will make it open season up on black folks. For the simple fact, there will be so many more killing. Every day you cut the news on, you hear something about 2 or 3 killings just here in Dallas. But you want to push this bill. No, that's not the way you do this. Yes, Michael Maida. Michael Maida is the president. This morning when I seen it on the news, that's the first time I agreed with him. And I told my wife, I said, baby, He done said something twice today that I agreed with him on. And I never have agreed with what anything he said. But some people will. Some people will think, yes, this law need to pass. No, it don't. No, it don't. You think we seeing a lot of unarmed killing. That's a way to get people out of the fact of saying, my life was threatened. Because now they're going to open fire on any armed black person. And the first thing they're going to say, well, he threatened me with a gun. Here's the gun. No, this is not the way to do it. That's why we need to make sure we vote to prevent stuff like this. It will put us all at risk. We all will have issues because everybody's not smart enough to be able to carry a gun. Some people feel just because somebody pissed you off, you have every right to pull your gun out. No, that's not how you do it. That's why we need to change our mindset, the way that people are thinking about this whole situation. We need to change that. So we definitely don't need to add more guns onto the street the way that our crime continue to go up. Since they reopen up everything, it been more killing just in the Dallas area and DFW Metroplex. There been so many killings here since they opened everything back up. Because people is on edge. Somebody look at somebody wrong or cut them off in a car. First thing they want to do, grab their gun. How you think it's going to be if they make pass that law that will allow anyone to purchase a gun? That's not good. Mick said, I'm not saying he shouldn't been held accountable. I'm saying he's aggressive to make himself seem cool and thought he was doing a good thing, protecting property and helping the community he worked in. Yeah, but it don't make it right. He never should have been there. Once Carefree was up, he should have went home. He should have been at home, or at least on his way home. I agree with you. You want to make your community right. You want your community to stand better than most community. But when you bring a gun to the fight, it never gonna end well. Because now you started to protest against the protesters. And that's when a clash is gonna happen. Because here it is, you come out, just because you have a gun, you get upset that people are protesting and you want to counter protest against them and feel that you're right. It's not right. It's not right at all. Shouldn't be like that. In Texas, y'all do not need to pass that law. Because what's going to happen, we're going to get more and more of these senseless killing. It's already too many senseless killing going on. I'm not talking about police killing. I'm talking about senseless killing across the board. It's too many of them, way too many. So, but hey, you are listening to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm him, Who You With Curtdog. Hopefully, y'all are enjoying the show no matter where you are. Facebook, um, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, D Live is always in the house. You can live chat with us in the chat room. We got a couple of more minutes before we get up out of here, but you can make comments just like Mick, Mike, Radio Chaos, Marcellus, and everyone else. If I miss you, please. It's a lot of comments that came in. Don't blame me. But you can always chat live with us just like they've done, and let us know your opinion on this platform. Everyone has a voice. I don't care who you support, who you don't support. But the only thing we're going to talk about on this show is the truth. We don't do conspiracy theory. I know Mick and um, Michael is, I would assume, they Trump supporters. That's okay. Everybody is welcome here. I don't care. Fresh Veggie, I didn't forget about you. I appreciate you for tuning in too. I know you've been working hard, so it's always good. No matter which platform you are on, please like, share, tell a friend, subscribe, click the notification for whenever we come on. You can also be a part of the show. So no matter where you are, you can chat live with us in the chat room. Let us know where you are um, listening at. And we have a couple of more minutes on the show before we get up out of here. Hopefully, y'all had a great day today. I did. And y'all already know what tomorrow is. It's Thursday. My home girl. My uh, She told me not to call her that. But my BFF, Miss Risky, will be on the show tomorrow. So um, I'm sure she's going to come with some great knowledge. And we're going to try to do some more things. Some good history come up tomorrow and bring some more story. Hopefully, we'll have more stories on the shooting that happened in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, because yeah, they was there to serve a warrant, but from what witnesses have said, I'm on the fence about it. I don't know if it was justified or not, but I will be paying attention to it. And once they um, come out with the evidence and we decide which direction is in, if it was justified or not, we will talk about it. But uh, allegedly, there are some body cam footage, um, so that will be interesting. And just so happening, Elizabeth City, North Carolina, only have had body cam for a year. They haven't had them that long. And one report I read that they just approved to get body cams, but the police chief said yes, it is body cam footage. So someone asked how long have they had it, and he said about a year. So um, hopefully it's enough evidence on there. Uh, Enough evidence on there, but we can definitely um, get the right information out. Mick, I'm sorry. Said definitely not a Trump supporter here. Well, I apologize. I apologize. I made a mistake. One thing about the show, if I make a mistake, I will clear it up. He said he's not a Trump supporter here. My apology. Um, he sound like he's just about the truth, and that's all. Uh, so I'm okay with that. Um, even if you were a Trump supporter, uh, um, even if uh, you are a Trump supporter, it's okay, or not one. Everybody is still welcome here. Just like Mike, I know he said Trump was the best president. He hoped he win again, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. We all have wishes. Mine's kind of wish he end up going to jail, but it haven't happened yet. So we just have to wait and see. But I'm okay with that. But other than that, I um, appreciate uh, appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. Oh, I'm sorry, radio. I just so happened to look down. I seen a message come across my phone, but radio said wonder since Trump told his supporter to boycott Coke, he has given up his case a day consumption of Diet Coke. He probably don't realize Coke make Diet Coke. He probably don't realize it. I didn't know he said the book. Yeah, I think I heard that a couple of weeks ago. Somebody told them to boycott Coke. So yeah, I don't know. He said a lot of things. He also told them to boycott MLB, but he said he don't watch it no way. So he said he don't watch it, and I'm like, hey, you can boycott whoever you want to, but people should have boycotted him to keep him from winning the election. But that's that's my opinion. Um, it's amazing how people would let the person who clearly talked about grabbing a woman by the kitty cat, and they felt like he was fit for president. I don't understand that disrespect, and to have a lot of ladies to support him. I don't understand it. But then, when the reporter Bush is his name, I can't Billy Bush. Um, when it came out, he ended up losing his job. So, but he finally back on the air. But once again, I'm just saying that's not good. Uh, Trump should tell his supporters to boycott him. It would be the most logical decision he ever made. Yeah, um, it would be. It definitely would be. Um, Nick said, no need to apologize. I'm a truth supporter like you. I'm a country boy who believe every person should live the life they want as long as they don't step on others. Yeah, I agree. What part of the country are you in? You said you're a country boy. Are you in? What state are you in? Yeah, you don't have to tell the actual city, but what state are you in? And I actually let me see if I could. My family is from the country, and um, it was kind of strange growing up in the. Well, I didn't grow up there, but I would go and visit in the country. I love going to see my grandparents and my family, my cousin, my aunts, and all of them. I was just one of those. I stayed up on the porch because we had a creek back behind my grandparent home. I think I finally seen that creek, but it's dried up now. Seen that creek maybe about 10 or 15 years ago. Out of the many times I went down there, I never made it down to the creek because as we going down the hill, a person would say one thing and I was back on top of that hill. They would say, um, they would say they see a snake, and I shot back up the hill. That's one thing I don't play around with. I don't do snakes. So I can deal with a lot of stuff, but snakes, nah, I'm gone. I'm not gonna play around with it. Um, I actually made a sacrifice one time. One of my nephew, my brother-in-law, he he had to go uh, over to had to go out the country because he served um, in the Air Force. So he had to go over to trying to think of which one it was. Um, and his son was in Boy Scout. So, and they had a camping night. It took a lot. So I went to support him and also support to step in for my brother-in-law while he was gone. And I made this sacrifice to actually go and spend the night in the tent. Let's just say I didn't get a whole bunch of sleep that night for the simple fact I knew where we went camping at is known to have rattlesnakes. So I made sure that that tent was zipped up, wasn't no holes in it or nothing like that, because I didn't feel comfortable. So I'm not a country boy. I love the outdoors, but even if I go fishing, I have to see everything around me. Yeah, I got to see where I'm walking and all of that. If I can't see it, I ain't going. I pull the car up, sit on the back of it, sit up on the trunk or whatever I have to do to fish. But I need to be able to see everything around me, which is crazy because I used to go fishing in some crazy spots where the grass was like up to your chest and you trying to walk back to the lake because you knew you was gonna catch something. But I never did like it, but I would go and do it anyway. So, but to answer your question, if I have a choice between a tent or RV, I'll take a RV all day long. But I did make the sacrifice for my nephew and did a tent camping overnight. I was like, cool, it's just one night and I'm good. But it wasn't that bad, but I knew where we were. It was known to have a lot of different snakes, and rattlesnake was the main one. So, um, um, Mick said, in a few hours, I'm a few hours south of Chicago, Chi-Town. I raised in the cornfields and timbers. Okay. Um, I feel you on that. T-Cal is in the house. Welcome, T-Cal. You must be working late. Long work day, but since I'm headed home listening to you, I'm good. All right, be safe. Be safe. Radio said, I saw a video of that pastor that danced with rattlesnake in his hand, and the snake turned around and bit him in the face. Crazy. See, I I couldn't do that. And I think what happened to me as a child, growing up, we had like some fields next to our home. Well, it was back behind our houses. And we um we used to find a lot of grass snakes. So um my brother would go and I'm talking about we would find a lot of them because um what happened is my brother and we had a, which is crazy. I'll talk about that in a minute. But sometime like during mating season, we will find so many grass snakes in our yard. We could fill up the bottom of a bottom of a bucket, a 5 gallon bucket with snakes. And kids gonna be kids. And somebody, one of my brother and his friend, they grabbed one of the snake and try to put it on me, and that was like, no. Ever since then, I didn't have nothing to do with snakes, so I was like, ugh. But what's crazy is in the neighborhood we grew up in, as we rode our bike through the neighborhood, we passed by these trees, and we would see pomegranates in our neighborhood. Um, Pomegranates in our neighborhood, and we would grab them off the trees and eat them. But now you look at pomegranate, what are they, $2 each in the store? And I'm like, hold on. In the middle of Oak Cliff, we used to get pomegranate for free just in our neighborhood. But now they $2 each in the store. And we could have sold those pomegranate back in the 80s and been rich. But it's amazing how things that we used to do for free, now they selling it. And it's a big thing. So um that is crazy. But yeah, so uh I appreciate everyone for tuning in tonight. Tomorrow night, my girl, my BFF, my friend, Miss Risky will be on the show. Yes, we do. Yes, we do, radio. Yes, we do have armadillos. And we actually have some, you can find some of them kind of like laying on their back in the middle of the road in Dallas. So we do have them. We do have armadillos. And if from what I've been told, if you hit them wrong, and if you're going fast enough, it could flip over the car. So yes, we do have them. We have possums. Whatever you can think of, we have them. Um, we do have them. Armadillo just be looking, they be looking crazy looking. uh, yeah, but we do have them a lot of time when you see them. Occasionally, you might be able to find one walking across the street, but a lot of time it's they already been hit by a car. And possum, I'm like, I know I hit one in our neighborhood one day. He was running across the street, and I heard, yeah. So, but once again, I appreciate everyone for tuning in tonight. I hope y'all had a great day today. Tomorrow, Miss Risky will be on the show. She working on some great history lesson. But we also, um, I don't know what she working on tomorrow, but when she called me Sunday telling me about some stuff, and it's gonna be interesting. I don't know if she's gonna do that this week or gonna do some other things. But I will be talking with her tomorrow before the show, and we're gonna talk about some stuff. And I forgot she sent me some stuff early, and it's been a crazy day. But other than that, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Radio T Cal, Mick, Michael, Fresh Veggie, Marilyn, Million Stafford for tuning in and watching. And everyone else that came in, you may not have said anything, but just to let you know, I appreciate each and every one of you. Please continue to support the show by tuning in, telling a person, like the page, share it, let them know when we are live, and you can also live chat with us. So until tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Time, I love each and every one of you. Till then, peace.